Well, let's start with the wildfires, which are devastating huge areas in Europe. More than 200,000 people have been evacuated from the path of severe wildfires in France and 20,000 from fires in Spain. This is the Cap Ferret Peninsula in southwest France, where hundreds of people were put in boats to escape a fast-moving wildfire along the Atlantic coast. The fires are now heading towards the city of Bordeaux. Ministers say these fires are unprecedented. Extreme heat and unusually dry conditions have fanned the flames. The Spanish authorities, meanwhile, say the emergency services do not have the capacity to contain a huge wildfire raging near Madrid. Tens of thousands of people have either been evacuated or ordered to remain indoors. Let's take a look at these live pictures from the region just outside Madrid. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez will go to the area later to visit the Emergency Coordination Centre there. Both Madrid and Paris have called in EU help as flames whipped up by strong winds and boosted by drought tore through tinder-dry forests. Well, we'll have the latest live from Spain in a moment. But first, this report from Joe Inwood.
Spain says these fires are impossible to control, but still they try. To the west of Madrid, crews tackle one of many fires that are approaching the capital. This is Cebreros, but in truth it could be many parts of southern Europe. An unprecedented combination of drought and heat, made worse by climate change, has left this landscape a tinderbox. Tens of thousands have been given the order to evacuate. People are getting out of Chapineria however they can. I'm very nervous, says Janet, because I've never experienced anything like this before. Spain has declared the fires a national emergency for the first time. A man has been arrested, suspected of starting one using farm machinery. The government has requested EU help and are getting 4 specialist water bombing planes.
At this time, the fire is beyond our extinguishing capabilities on some fronts, so we're asking that over the next few hours, everyone remains at their posts, as the majority are currently doing.
It's not only Spain that is suffering. In Cap Ferret, one of France's most popular holiday destinations, as the tourists leave, the firefighters move in. The peninsula, just to the west of Bordeaux, risk being cut off by the fast-moving flames as wildfires spread. Thousands of tourists received a 3 a.m. alarm, telling them to leave however they could.
As we got closer, we saw the fire itself, and it was an absolute conflagration. Yellow flames, 5-6 stories high, the whole area of forest on fire.
Most escaped by car, others by boat, the burning peninsula creating a false dawn. To make things worse, another outbreak just down the Atlantic coast in Biscarrosse, where tens of thousands have had to leave their homes. A stampede as the popular tourist town is enveloped by smoke. Hundreds of firefighters are in action, now joined by the army. But France too has requested EU help.
We learned mid-afternoon that due to shifting winds, the fire was changing direction. It feeds itself and shifts course. We learned that, driven by the wind, it was actually moving eastward, heading towards the Bordeaux metropolitan area.
Back in Madrid, and more people seek relative safety. But they are fleeing through a parched landscape and fires that continue to spread. Joe Inwood, BBC News.
Well, Hugh Schofield is our Paris correspondent, and he says it doesn't look like the fires in France show any sign of abating.
No, and certainly not the main one, which everyone is focused on now, which is the one west of Bordeaux. There's been no early morning bulletin yet, so I don't have any up-to-date information on the progress of the fire overnight, but I think we can say with some certainty that it hasn't been brought under control. That's because in the middle of the night, the préfet, that's the governor of the county involved, Gironde, issued this alert to people in the western Bordeaux suburbs to get ready to leave. That includes the suburb of Mérignac, which people may have heard of because that's where Bordeaux Airport is. That is a sign that this fire, which started 3 days ago, a long way to the west of Bordeaux, is still moving. It's out of control, despite all the efforts that are being made to control it, and that it's moving in the direction of this big metropolitan area. I think it's still a long way off, but part of the problem is not just the flames, it's the smoke. There's an awful lot of smoke which has been created, which will be being blown towards Bordeaux. The government is mobilising the health services to provide masks, and that is a sign that there's the added health issue here, which is not just fire, it's smoke inhalation and the general damage to lungs from all of that. All of which suggests to me a situation this Saturday morning which is still out of control, and efforts are resuming straight away to try to fix it, without any great optimism that prospect is imminent.
Hugh Schofield there. So that's the situation in France. Let's go to Spain now and speak to our reporter Sergi Forcada, who's following developments in the country for us. So Sergi, we heard Hugh there say that there was no sign of the fires abating in parts of France. What about in Spain?
Yeah, no optimism yet. We haven't had an update from local authorities in the last few hours, but they said that overnight there was a window of opportunity because the temperatures dropped, humidity went up, and the wind stopped. So they were quite optimistic that overnight the situation would improve a little bit. But again, this morning they are expecting wind, which has been one of the problems over the last couple of days. The fires are still out of control, and the regional president of the Madrid area still saying that those are the worst wildfires in recent history. Around 20,000 hectares have now been burned and over 60,000 people have been affected. 25,000 were evacuated last night. They had to spend the night in makeshift shelters in places like civic centers or sports facilities. Over 40,000 people also being asked to stay indoors, to remain under lockdown because of the impact of these wildfires.
And officials have said that the fire that's moving near Madrid is beyond the capacity of firefighters to contain. So what's going to happen with that? How will they keep it under control?
Well, they are trying to put all the military personnel, all the firefighters that are available, even today planes from Greece and Italy are going to come to Spain to try to help to put up this fire. But they are saying that they are beyond the capacity to control it. So we are not expecting the fire to be under control in the next few hours. Actually, the key thing that they are trying to avoid now is both fires merging. There's these fires very close to the capital in Madrid, the other ones in Avila. What they don't want is the fires to merge because they say that the situation would then be even worse. So what they're hoping is that the wind will stop in the next few hours, even if possible to get some rain, but they are not being optimistically, frankly.
We know that many people have had to be evacuated, as you were saying. Can you just give us a picture of what these areas are like? Are they densely populated?
No, these are mostly rural areas or places in which people from Madrid, from the capital, tend to go there on holiday, kind of like as a second home residence. So it's not highly populated, but in some cases, access is quite difficult. And in fact, yesterday, some roads had to be blocked. There were problems also with phone communication. So it's an area where in some particular places, access can be difficult. Also, lots of elderly people living around that area. And now it's just getting closer to places in which people live, even more places in which there are bigger cities. But yeah, it tends to be low density area with difficult access in some cases.
Sergi, thank you very much for now. That's Sergi Forcada there for us. Well, here in the UK, Police Scotland has declared the wildfire in the Cairngorms National Park a major incident. People have been evacuated from nearby villages and roads in the area have been closed. Smoke's drifted as far as Aberdeen, that's more than 50 miles away, prompting warnings for people to keep doors and windows shut. Chris McLennan sent us this report from the village of Nethy Bridge near Aviemore.
Now, this wildfire has been burning for several days now. 10 days firefighters, land managers and gamekeepers have been trying to tackle it, but it has significantly got worse over the last day or so. We had changing wind conditions that led to significant flare-ups. That led to those thick plumes of smoke rising high into the sky and spreading east, being felt as far away as Aberdeen, which is around 60 miles as the crow flies. Now, Police Scotland says it has taken this decision following those significant changes in weather conditions, with strengthening winds driving the fire towards the Nethy Bridge area. Residents are being asked to make their way here to Aviemore, to this hotel, with Highland Council putting on buses to help shuffle people here.
Having to relocate at such short notice, I think it's very sad. I think it's sad that we find ourselves that we have a really ancient Caledonian forest that's potentially not going to be there in the future.
Now, the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service says more than 500 firefighters have been involved in tackling this wildfire, but it says that large areas of the fire ground are inaccessible by foot or by vehicle, with waterbombing by helicopters the most effective method here. Dozens of people have been displaced from their homes as this wildfire in the Cairngorms National Park continues to have a massive impact.
Chris McLennan there for us.